I've been called out by Reddit. All because I said real fans call it the expanded universe, not Legends. Let's get into some of these comments they've left. They can't handle one can like everything in Star Wars. If you like everything in Star Wars, then that just means you have no standards. Real fans will criticize something they're a fan of because they know how good it can be, and they know when it's not as good as it should be. They can't begin to fathom the concept of the possibility of someone maybe having a slightly different opinion on any project. You know, this is something that a lot of these kinds of people say, and it really just confuses me. Like, yeah, obviously you have a different opinion to me, but for some reason they're allowed to have opinions, but I'm not. It's weird. I don't love everything, but these people seem to hate everything. It seems like such a miserable life, not being able to enjoy anything because you're just too deep down a rabbit hole. I enjoy the Star Wars universe as a whole. I love Star Wars. I just know that Disney Star Wars is not real Star Wars. Real fans enjoy stuff. These assholes don't like anything. Like I just said, I am a huge fan of Star Wars. I don't know where these people are getting this idea that if you criticize Disney, you must hate Star Wars. It probably has something to do with the fact that these are Disney shills and they can't handle people not liking Disney Star Wars. And to them, Disney Star Wars is real Star Wars, so if you don't like it, then you don't like Star Wars at all. These people just don't seem to have the mental capacity to comprehend something being slightly more complex than just good or bad. Fuck you. Doctor Who also has the advantage of being ridiculously long, which allow everybody to have a completely different favorite thing. The community has toxic parts, yes, but there are so many different viewpoints on almost every piece of Who media, which lead to utterly fascinating discussions. These people are kind of stupid, honestly. I associate with plenty of people who also love the expanded universe, but they like things I don't like and don't like things that I do like. We've had plenty of fascinating discussions about the expanded universe. It's funny how much these chuds make hating Star Wars their personality. And meanwhile, the average Joe just thinks they are neat. Well, like I've said multiple times, I love Star Wars, and I view Disney Star Wars as fake Star Wars. It's not my whole personality to hate Star Wars in general, that's stupid. Also, the average Joe, they only know about Disney Star Wars, and they think it's boring. That's why nobody watched The Skeleton Crew, or The Acolyte. The average Joe is not showing up to watch these projects. Once upon a time, I liked things when I was 12. What changed? I learned I could make money hating things. I haven't liked anything in 30 years. Yeah, cause my YouTube channel is incredibly profitable. What's funny about this is a lot of my Disney Star Wars videos aren't even that hateful. They are critical of Disney, which is what normal people should be when you consume media, but I'm not outright hating on it or being super hateful, and I'm not doing it for money. That's insane. I'm not critical drinker. There is no way in hell I'm listening to someone who has a fucking Griffith profile pic. Fuck that, and fuck that guy in particular with that dumb ass hell fake fan, true fan bullshit. I really love using Griffith as like a profile pic, as an avatar and icon, because it really triggers a lot of people. And rightfully so. I mean, Griffith is an evil demon from hell who I legitimately have hatred in my heart for. I do not like him. I'm not a fan. I hate him. He deserves death. He deserves worse than death. But I guess to these people, they just think I'm a big Griffith fan because I have his profile pic, which isn't that too big of a stretch, but like, whatever. Also, fun fact, I could not look less like Griffith if I tried. Also, I hate to break it to him, but plenty of the EU was kinda shit. Kill yourself. Literally drag a blade down your forearm and kill yourself. In Minecraft. I guess to a lot of these people, they assume I haven't actually read the EU, and I'm just looking for a way to shit on Disney. But sorry, I'm not critical drinker. I'm not nerdrotic. I'm not Star Wars theory. I don't do that. I am authentic. Right? They say nearly all of it was so good, but it was mostly middle school level fan fiction bullshit. People who say this sort of stuff have not read the EU and are just repeating what they've been told by other shills. LMAO, that's just semantics. Who cares if you call it Legends or the expanded universe? It's the same thing. It is not the same thing. Legends is a Disney term they use to decredit the expanded universe. No, we don't. Going to even the most toxic subs, you see people call it Legends. This person is the real fake fan. You hear that, guys? If you call the expanded universe and not Legends, you're a fake fan. All this really means is there's a lot of toxic Star Wars fans who don't read the expanded universe. And they're most likely similar to Star Wars theory, where they're fence riders and they don't really care about the expanded universe and they want Disney Star Wars to succeed. So no offense to them, but I don't give a fuck what they think. The term real fan was invented by narcissists who can't handle other people's opinions. If you've been to this subreddit, Saltier Than Crate, their entire Reddit is them not being able to handle other people's opinions. And that's literally what all these people are doing under this post, is not being able to handle my opinion. I hate gatekeepers. They're the lowest of losers. What even are you doing trying to stop people from being fans? It's embarrassing. I'm not trying to stop people from being a fan of anything. Calling someone a fake fan, to me, does not mean they're not a fan. They're just not a real fan. Yeah. Okay, Griffith fan. Sick of those people existing. Like, what purpose do they even serve? Like, that guy thinks the whole world revolves around him. SMH. Yeah, not a Griffith fan, but I'm not gonna blame you for thinking that. Also, I don't think the whole world revolves around me just because I don't think someone's a real Star Wars fan. That would be kinda weird. This is also not true. Legends is perfectly acceptable to refer to the expanded universe. No, it isn't. It's a Disney term, and if you use it, fuck you. The EU is the old name for Legends. No fake or real fan necessary. They can be called both because for decades, that shit was called EU. And to be honest, it still is expanded universe content. But Disney repackaged it into Legends. Not that hard. Also something you look slightly mentally ill for constantly mentioning online. Redditors calling other people mentally ill, that's kind of ironic. And yeah, Disney repackaged it. It's a Disney term for the expanded universe. It's basically a derogatory term for the EU. And if you use the word Legends to describe it, you're not a real fan, Star Wars theory. I thought it was something incels called it, my bad. You hear that, guys? If you call it the expanded universe, you're clearly an incel. By their own rules, Legends is the EU, all else is canon. I don't even know what he was trying to say there. Remember when it used to be okay to say you were a fan of Star Wars? Well, it still is okay. And it should be okay for me to say you're not a real fan. Ship of Theseus moment. They are both correct, neither of them are correct. No, only one of them is correct, and it's the expanded universe. Legends is fake news. Every time these dudes bring up the EU, I hear people actually read it, talk about how messy the EU actually is. So this is what they do. They spread misinformation about the EU that they've heard secondhand. The EU is incredibly well structured and thought out. Way better than Disney canon, which constantly contradicts itself. It's so bad that Dave Filoni might retcon any Disney expanded universe material that contradict with the story he wants to tell. So there's really no point in reading those Disney books or comics. Being informed of the law, it's a power thing and a gatekeeping thing. If law changes, they lose their grip on Star Wars and they lose their identity. No, the law doesn't change. It changes in Disney, but that's not real Star Wars. It does not change in the expanded universe, that's set in stone. You know when Star Wars theory was crying about Ki-Adi-Mundi's age being altered in Disney canon? His age is set in the expanded universe, which he doesn't think is real Star Wars or part of the real canon. So he's complaining over nothing, because Ki-Adi-Mundi's age in Disney canon was never established. In the end, a lot of people put on their nostalgia goggles and just remember the good stuff when it comes to older media. Spoken like someone who has not read the expanded universe. I call it the expanded universe, and I still hate it, and all of its contrivances for the most part. Again, this sounds like someone who hasn't read the EU. I doubt they could name a single one of these contrivances that they speak of. It is not your decision what someone can fake. I decided you are fake. People heard of the concept of an industry plant and now see it everywhere. Does this person think I think you're an industry plant if you call it Legends? Is this guy serious? It sounds like he doesn't know what an industry plant even is. I've never heard anyone call it expanded universe. I've only ever heard people call it Legends. Yeah, that probably has something to do with the fact that you hang out on Reddit like a fucking loser and you don't know any real fans. These Redditors need help. They need to have a shower, they need to go outside, they need to seek employment, instead of crying on Reddit all day, getting mad at every single person who thinks differently from them. Anyway, that's all I had to say. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening, like and subscribe, I'll see you guys later.
You can bounce. Change your turn or bounce.